Me too. King Michi said, giving me a big kiss. Okay, good. I'm gonna get dressed so we can go do that run tonight across town. Nah, y'all. I don't want you running tonight or any other night from this day on. We just found out we having a kid, and you can't be doing things like this anymore. Are you kidding me, Meech? I need to go. Being pregnant is more of the reason why I should be there. I need to get this money. It's too risky for you right now. Stay here and relax. Relax yourself. You're not beautiful. I love you, Yanis. I promise. I'm coming right back home to you, and I'm going to get this money for the both of us, and our baby. So don't worry, okay? He kissed me and left out the door. Sitting there at home while Michi went out on the road to do runs made me very lonely and uneasy. I was so used to being with him every step of the way. Like, a lot of time went by in my pregnancy, and when I was 8.5 months pregnant, I was once again alone in the house by myself. Rubbing the roundness of my stomach, I talked to my unborn child saying that, we was going to surprise daddy and help him out on his new run. Not knowing it was a big shootout happening, I walked right into the middle of it and was shot in the stomach. Later that very night, I was induced to give birth early. I was in labor for about an hour. I pushed and pushed and pushed and pushed until my baby was born. I heard a little cry, and when the doctors gave me my baby, I held him close to my heart. I named him Miracle Hollister because of the traumatic, experience we went through. So he went through, basically. His little eyes twinkled up at me, and I loved him more than anything in the world. I sang to him, and I played with him, fed him, and took pictures with him. The next morning, looking to the right side of my bed, I seen that, my baby boy, my miracle child, was not in the incubator. Buzz, buzz. I pressed the button for the nurse to come in, and, thinking they took my baby for a bath, I was unaware what really happened. King Michi walked in with the nurse, and the baby was wrapped up in his arms. But there was a sad look on his face, and his eyes were red as if, he's been crying. Hey, good morning to my king and my prince. How are y'all today? Tears rolled down his face as he walked closer to my bedside. He didn't make it. He's gone, Yanis. He's gone. Screaming aloud at both King Michi and the nurse. What? Who's gone? What do you mean he's gone? What did you do to my son? Pass me my baby. Give me my son, Michonne. So she bugging out. She flipping. That's some emotional stuff. That's real traumatic right there. Anyway, the time that passed by after Little Miracle's death, and, I was never the same. I became more quieter and distant. I sat in the bedroom with, what was made for Miracle. I sat in there for days in and days out at a time, just cried. I was hugging a little change of clothes and rocking his little crib. Everything was supposed to be for him. He was supposed to be alive, It was supposed to be what it's supposed to be. I'm supposed to be his mom. I slept in there sometimes and cried throughout the night, trying to keep myself busy and my mind off of the situation. I work with, King Michi, running and doing some stick-up jobs again. My last encounter was of this guy we set up for drugs and money. His name was Mano Edwards or something. And in my eyes, he was a loser. He had, his own connection with large incoming flow of money. He also did a lot of the different drugs. He was careless with talking to people about his business, though, which how he made profit and how and where he kept his stash. So it was easy to rob him. Mad easy to rob him. Anyway, Mano had a wife named Medina who was locked up in jail for killing somebody. The judge gave her a life sentence. So when I planned the raid, I knew that Mano would be alone and he was the only target to worry about. Michi and I busted in his home with our guns drawn because we bout that life. He was slumped over in front of a television set just nodding off because he was high for some drug. I don't know. There was a needle sticking out his arm and he smelled as if he had not washed in days. He probably was depressed because his wife got locked up. We tied him up and searched the house for the drugs and the money. He screamed at us, and slurred words to us, telling us we'll never get away with it. In the bedroom is where we found this big bag of jewelry. In the bathroom, we found drugs that were stashed in the wall. But anyway, making my way into the kitchen area, I was surprised. I saw a little boy feeding a girl, that was in a high chair. I didn't know Mano and Medina had kids. Putting my gun away and walking over slowly to the little boy who seemed to be unaware of what was going on. I didn't want to frighten him, so I knelt down to his size level and put my hand on his shoulder. Hi, what's your name? My name is Malik. And this is my baby sister, Mah'Lissa. He said, pointing the spoon, which was, in his hands. He was smiling and she was eating. Come on, we out. Michi yelled at me from the other room. Okay, I'm coming, I yelled back. Mano, who was still tied up in the other room, started yelling and screaming my name and everything he knew about me out loud as if he was talking to somebody, I don't know why he was doing that, but it got me really mad because it didn't make no sense. I stormed in, the living room and smacked him. He smiled and said, once again, you're never gonna get away with robbing me. I smacked him again and watched blood trickle down his lips. He then called me a bitch and said something about God. He then said, I'ma get what I deserve, and that's why I lost my son. I was hurt by his words, honestly. So I took my gun back out, put it in his mouth, and I pulled the trigger. Rest in peace to him. Michi ran in the room and said we had to go. He was pulling at my arm, but I wasn't budging. He asked me, what was my problem? And I told him that I was wasting time. I said, I don't have everything I wanted or what I needed. He said, stop being greedy. Come on, let's go. I ignored him and ran back in the kitchen where the kids were. At that time, Malik seemed scared. Little boy, he was feeding his sister now. He shook up. Now, Mah'Lissa, the little baby girl, she was crying. Michi ran in the kitchen behind me, and he was shocked to see the children. He was like, oh, shit. I was like, right? And I was like I said, I still don't got everything I want. I want him. Pointing to the little boy, And Michi was like, what? Looking mad confused. I said, you heard me. I said I want him. He's like, nah, yo. I was like, listen, I lost my son and I want him. That's crazy, right? That's a crazy ass idea. Listen, the police, they on their way. We need to get up out of here. I don't fucking care, I yell. Let's go, alright? Let the government handle this bullshit. Them kids gonna go to foster care or something. That's risky. People gonna recognize the kids in the street as Mano and Medina kids. Like, come on. No, they won't. Like, we can move and start over. Plus, I don't want, no witnesses, and he already seen my face. Fuck it. Grab his ass. Michi ran out the front door and started the car. Hi, little Malik. Remember me? Yes. Me and that man you just seen, we're gonna take you to a new home, okay? Yani said with a soft smile and extended her hand, but he didn't budge. Malik didn't move. What's wrong, sweetheart? Don't you want to come with me to a new home with all nice toys and stuff? Yes. Okay, so what's the problem? My dad might be mad. Oh, he's not gonna be mad at you. He told me it's okay. So come on, and we have to go fast and get out of here. Let's pretend that we're some superheroes so that we can go fast and move fast like lightning. Yay! Malik screamed out loud, jumping up and down. Then he said he loves superheroes. Beep, 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 beep. Malik was outside, Michi was outside honking the horn. He wanted to go. Okay, that's all right. Let's go, Yani said to little Malik and pulling him in the direction of the door. But he wasn't budging still. Malik seemed to be like dragging his feet like he didn't want to go. What's the problem now? I'm not leaving my baby sister. She's mine and I love her, he said, snatching away and then folding his arms and sticking out his bottom lip. Having no other choice, I took both Malik and Mah'Lissa. I carried Mah'Lissa in my arms and rushed Malik really fast out the door, not wanting him to see his father's dead, bloody body. On the floor. So that ends the flashback. What do you guys think about that? Wow. So Mrs. Gregory is not their mother. She done stole them kids. Let's continue on to the next chapter.